We are back for our fifth and final series of the day. It's going to be Stark and KOL rematch. We're already loaded in, starting up here in the top right in pink from Team Unrivaled. He did 2-0 the first series between these two players. It is KOL.
And at the 9 o'clock position in yellow, looking for redemption, it is All Inspirations Stark.
ZVZ. I really enjoy that this is a rematch in a ZVZ, just because it means that so much more can come from it.
Yeah.
Both players obviously already played each other 2 games. That means they've had to do some builds that they may not have wanted to show off, and now they have to find different things to do, or they can just try and play as standard as possible, and assume that for KOL, assume that his wins were good enough, and he's going to be fine in this series again. It's going to be up to Stark to find a way to actually beat KOL, since he did get 2-0'd in that first series.
Yeah, I think Stark's going to try and take these games to more macro style. I think he tried to, as I say that, throwing down a 14 pool by the looks. He did try to, I'm not sure mind game, but just try and win the game in the early stages against Quali in the first game, and it didn't really work too well. Quali proved that his early game nuance is quite good, and then 1 HP he beat him in macro games twice. Off a 9 pool, but it did eventuate into a macro game and eked out slow advantages against him. So I think Stark might try and go that route in this series. Quali go on hatch first as well against the 14 pool. He sees the hatch timing of Stark as well, so he knows exactly what's up.
Yeah, so both players have good ideas of what each other is doing, except, well, like I said, of course, Stark, it's going to take a while for him to actually see exactly what's going on, but his Overlord is taking a nice path to make sure that he does, if there were any lings, they're going to take a really awkward path to get around this Overlord and be hidden, but it isn't going to be anything early coming out of KOL, but Stark's Overlord is probably not going to be able to get into the base of KOL before it is shooed away by a Queen, but it might get in there and see gas, but I don't know. It's going to be a really, really tough trek for it to get over there, given how slow it is. And still no gas here for Stark, so he is opening up gasless here in game number 1.
Blind Spinecrawler as well.
Wow.
Really worried about that early pool shenanigans. He might cancel this though. He might.
I think Stark, he generally is fine, but again, that it is really, really early. That means he's not going to have any lings early on, I'd assume, because that's what he's using that 100 minerals. Instead of making 2 lings, he's going to make a Spinecrawler. He does cancel it, so never mind.
Cancel it. I like that. That's good play. Doesn't see any lings coming across the map. Yeah. Nice and safe from him. I'm a fan of that. And these lings get a scout off. Yeah. And try and get a drone. They do get a drone. Which is nice.
Yeah, just being annoying here, which is nice. So he also gets a scout off, and he saw that the gas got taken out of as well, so he knows it's not going to be something super early, but that possibility of banlings is always there. KOL is showing that he's pretty confident in using banlings in an early game. But Stark, he's just droning away right now. 6 drones about to pop out for him. A couple overlords popping up as well. So nothing at all but drones in production. We do have speed, of course, about 30% finished here for KOL, which is going to be a nice little window for him to do some damage in. This map it's kind of difficult to actually get the wall up at the natural wall. It will take a tumor and a little bit of time for that tumor actually spreading its creep to get to that the wall location. So you can put down some echo chambers or roach warren down there to start walling off. But good control by Stark. The lings do not get in for KOL, so he does not know the fact that this is exactly completely gasless. And I mean, seeing 2 queens that quickly at the natural should say something.
Yeah, he might assume with that blind Spinecrawler and the queen placement. I think he might assume that this is gasless opening from Stark. I think it's a pretty safe assumption to make from Quali. Can't be 100% sure, but Stark does start the Roach Warren and double Evo wall off at the front. He's pretty well defended, and Stark's going to try and push this Overlord back, possibly get a kill on it. It might get away.
It should get away with a high ground health, I think, so should be decent enough to get away from this. And the Queen has got quite a ways to go. There aren't any lings really on the map here for Keowali, so you can't actually go deny this Queen from moving out as far as she is on the map right now. She is just booking it, trying to catch this Overlord. And it may actually, I guess, eventually get to it, since there aren't any lings, which is funny. That Queen is way the heck out there. It's going to take about a minute to get back even, so... But I guess if you kill an Overlord, that's worth it, I suppose.
Worth it.
Worth it. Totally worth it.
I think Koali's going mutas in this game. He has made the assumption that Stark is going gasless. He's going up to lair, has 4 gases. Still no Evos or Roach thrown. Pretty safely assumed it is going to be mutalisks out of Koali.
Yeah, for sure.
And this is the style of ZVZ that I expected out of him from the get-go. He does like his mutalisk play.
Starkey is he's only using one of his Evo Chambers for an upgrade, so he's going to have a nice window where he could attack, but once those mutas pop out, it's going to be really difficult for Starkey getting any damage done. The third base is already up and running here for Keowali. He doesn't really have any drones over there. We saw this in the previous games, but it is going to be used for a larva, which is going to be really nice once he does start to make that swell of mutas. Where is that Spire even at? It's hidden.
In the natural.
It's hitting the natural. It's very difficult for Stark to actually get in and see that. A bunch of spine crawlers coming down. 4 spines coming down at the natural wall here for Keowali, realizing that he doesn't really have anything to defend right now, and he knows that his opponent has some roaches. It's going to be a lot of roaches, literally nothing but roaches in production right now. Just kind of waiting to see if Stark's going to take a third, if he's just going to try and push and maybe win with this. At the least, he's going to want to get in and see the third base and maybe hopefully kill that hatchery. Overseer is going to get in now and see the Spire, however, so he will be able to prepare for that a little bit at least.
Yeah. The spine crawlers at the front kind of tip that off a little bit as well, so...
Even more spines. Goodness gracious. Keowali does not want to die. He realizes the only way he can die right now is to a bunch of roaches. So he's got 4 spines finished already. He's making 4 more. I mean, this third base is pretty forfeit if Stark goes over there, but, I mean, mutas are going to start being out on the way, but Keowali is not going to die. There's way too many spines up here. He should lose his third base, but, I mean, losing your third at this point isn't the worst of situations, I suppose.
I'm trying to save the drones as well, and the Queen. You know, nice, I guess, but he's going to lose this.
Keowali even using the larva over this third base to make a couple of these mutas. He's got 11 on the way, which means Stark has to go home. He cannot be on the map at all, or he's going to lose everything that's out on the map. Keowali is sending all of his lings over to the main of Stark. I think maybe probably assuming there's a third base somewhere, but there isn't a third base. And right now, Stark he's just making a ton of queens. He's making some spore collars where he can, getting the infestation pick. Going to be trying to defend with infestors, it seems, rather than trying to get to hydras, because I get 11 mutas already. It's a pretty large number. There are a couple spore collars scattered about, but this is going to be so difficult for Stark to actually take a third base for a really long time in this game.
And pretty decent number of queens as well. He's got 6, and should probably start a couple more, I think. His ball placement is really good from Stark, though. He's protecting both his gas geysers, he's protecting his front wall, and he's really well set up here.
There's so many queens here for Stark. He's got 6 right now already, and he's making more and more, and he's got pathogen glands on the way, so he's going to be able to get some infestors out, and if he can get a money fungal, that's going to be really, really bad for Keowali, obviously. And behind this, the transition is going to be into roaches by Keowali. He's getting his own +1/+1. He's getting roach speed as well. He's just going to use these mutas to keep Stark off of third base. Meanwhile, Keowali's third is about 75% finished. He's also got a 4th hatchery finishing up at the same exact time, which is going to be a massive boost for him if he's able to actually drone that up. But still, it's going to take some work to actually do anything from Stark to actually do anything to Keowali over here.
He's got quite a lot of map control. And it's really hard for Stark to really push out and punish this. And he's getting infestors, but these queens can't really push across the map too well. But he's getting a Nidus network, actually. I completely missed that in the base. Never mind what I just said. He's going to try and Nidus off here. The only Overlord he has on the other side of the map, though, is the one in Koali's main. That's not in Vision. Oh, the Nidus is in Vision, though. Does he see it? Does he see it?
Just yet. He's busy microing his. He's actually got. He did deny +2. No, he did deny +2. Yes, he did deny +2 carapace. Am I insane?
This Nidus is going to get off.
Already finished.
Oh no!
the Queens pop out first, which is hilarious. They're going to defend against those mutas that are going to be coming up. Is he going to bring some Spore Crawlers with us? I didn't actually see if he put any in the Nidus or not. He's got the Infestus that'll be popping out as well, so he's going to be nice and defended here. Luckily for KOLE, his tech is all of the natural, so he can defend there rather than trying to defend anything else. These Infestors are going to zone out those mutas. Another Nidus even going down on top of the ramp, and Stark is just pushing forward on top of everything. One fungal, huge fungal goes down all the roaches. The roaches dying so quickly. There's not many fungals really left available. Queens are also really low HP, and they're just doing so much damage though, and with so much damage going down here for both players really, but KOLE is definitely in a worse position, losing drones at this point he had to pull off, and he's gonna call GG there. So Stark, that's one way to deal with mutas. Okay. Not gonna take a third base, that's fine. I'm just gonna Nidus your main. That was insane.
I'm not sure how effective that would have been if he didn't get the Nidus up in the main.
Yeah.
Like his backup plan was obviously to put it outside the third or something, but really unfortunate there for KOLE. Not spotting that Nidus really hurt.
So that trick still works. Nice. Stark, always with the commentary. That was that happens. Let's go with that. That actually just happened. So Stark is going to enjoy a 1-0 lead here in this last series. It was barely in KOLE's vision. The Overlord itself that was there to make the Nidus wasn't, but
yeah, the Nidus itself was there.
Yeah. Yeah, as I said, KOLE was just barely. He was focusing on microing that the mutas that he had actually on the other side of the map, so he wasn't actually paying attention to what was going on in his main base. And once everything got in there, there was really just no hope for him.
Game 2 on Varney research station. See if KOLE can pull it back. Stark has his number now.
Right.
We shall see.
Okay, I was just waiting for the stream to catch up here. They are seeing the end of that previous game right now on the actual stream. Yeah, that was pretty intense. I can't believe that worked. In all honesty, but it did. I mean, as Stark said, it's high risk, but very high reward. Obviously, it did win in the game there. So we are in our second game here. I'm not sure why that's not working. Anyway, spawning up here in the top, needs to win this map to force map number 3. In pink from Team Unrivaled, it is KOLE.
And in the bottom, from Team All Inspiration, in the yellow, it is Stark. After that cute Nidus play, getting it off in the main. Very
no
nice
blind
play.
9 pulls against each other. That's always sad. We won't be seeing any early pulls in this game at least. Last time that happened, 1HP, I'm pretty sure he took that game on body, didn't he?
Yeah.
So it could have been a good idea, but once again, both players assuming they can win a macro game. I guess you can call the last game a macro game. It was an interesting decision out of Stark to go for that Nidus, but it did work out in his favor rather than trying to just brute force his way into a third base. He said, okay, well, I'll just go and attack your main with some hidden units, no problem.
I'm really curious to see what would have happened in that game if KOLE had to stop the Nidus in the main. What Stark's plan would have been. Whether...
I mean, he did have a lot of queens, and those queens did pretty much take on those mutas head-to-head. So he probably could have pushed out eventually and taken his own third base, but in doing so, that would have let KOLE just freely drone up his own third and fourth, honestly. So it still would have been up to Stark to find a way to do a lot of damage. So I guess the Nidus was one way to do it. The other way, I'm not really sure if unless he, I don't know, finds, well, I don't know, he has to get a money fungal, that's all it was.
Yeah. Hatch first for KOLE. Pull first out of Stark. So, nice and safe. KOLE taking a bit of a risk. Not really risky on this map. Such a long map. Long way to go. The big problem with this map in ZVZ though is it's really hard to watch both like the common route for lings and to try and get a scout off on the natural timing. makes this map a little bit more difficult for ZVZ.
It forces this first Overlord to be checking for the gas, and as soon as is able to see anything in that location, it'll probably go down to the main or the natural to find that out. Because, like you said, this second Overlord has to take that awkward route around the left side, just in case there are early lanes, just to get a spot on that. But Stark, he is in the main base with his Overlord currently, so he does see everything he wants to see. Sees gasless, sees the Queen will be coming out soon. So you can go ahead and get on out of here. And you're going to put that Overlord in a good position. Hopefully not lose it. We did see that a few times. And speaking of hopefully not losing a Queen, KOLE may lose his, or hopefully not losing an Overlord. KOLE may lose his first Overlord here to Stark's Queen.
Yeah, Koali might be a little bit on tilt here. A little bit frustrated with his play. This Overlord might actually escape.
This should escape, but he can go get that pretty quickly if it doesn't run really far away. So I think this Queen is going to start spreading creep, so it's going to be pretty happy to get on the map and go take out this Overlord if it can.
Yeah.
We do have gas here for Stark as well, so he's stayed in that gas and he's got speed on the way, so it's a lot of aggression that can be coming from him. He's not even pulled any drones out of gas right now, so not sure if this is going to be straight Baneling or if it's going to be straight for Roaches or what have you, but at the moment, no gas yet still for KOLE, but he is making a spine crawler here in his main base. I really think this could be an issue, and actually pushing away two Overlords with his Queen. So both players just annoying those early Overlords with their Queens.
Good Queen block here on the ramp from Stark. Gonna stop any scouting. There's a quick Evo chamber comes down.
Oh, well. +1.
Still not spending this gas either. He's up to 200 now.
If you go +1 Carapace really quickly, he's going to have Speedlings obviously as well, and he can go for Banelings behind this too. It's really difficult for a Zerg who hasn't gotten that Carapace upgrade to actually kill anything you have, especially it takes Banelings 2 shots to kill a Ling, so
2 shots,
with Carapace he could just flood a bunch of Lings and see if we can get done with that. But a really quick third hatchery here out of KOLE, because I mean you can just sit here and block off this ramp. There's no point not to. I mean, with the Spine Crawler, with 2 Queens here helping as well, it's so difficult for him to break. We have a Roach Horn actually coming from both players, so I'm not sure exactly what this Evo Chamber is doing just now. I mean, still nothing but drones in production here for Stark, and he's got a lot about the pop. He's taken a nice lead there, but this third hatchery is already up for KOLE. It's unreal.
Yeah, going gasless and then taking the faster third is kind of not how this matchup's supposed to work. It's usually the guy who's got speed that's getting the faster third. Lair is starting for Stark. Still no use out of this Evo chamber though.
I think he saw when he saw the third base, he may have abandoned his plan a little bit and decided to do something different. But I don't know. The gas is kind of being used, but still, it's there's a lot of gas blinking up already. And he's got a second one in his natural. He's got a third one in his natural as well. So 3 gas and still not really using anything. He's making a couple of Roaches, and he's not getting any upgrades. So he may actually be playing Spire himself in this game. I'm just kind of waiting to see exactly what he does decide to do with this. And right now, the drones are even, but with this third hatchery now being injected by KOLE, he's going to enjoy a pretty nice lead really, really soon. Especially with 12 drones about to pop out here for him. So we do have 13 Roaches actually for Stark, which is a pretty large swell of those that are going to probably be moving across the map here. But without any upgrades at all, KOLE is going to put himself in a good position.
Yeah, I really like Koali's position. If he can get to a stage where he's ahead on these upgrades with this +1 Carapace and +1 missile attack, he's down in the Roach count at the moment, but if he can get to the stage where he can buy enough time for this earlier third and upgrades to buy off, he'll be in a pretty good spot. He's got a 10 drone lead, which is super handy. Super handy. Roaches are starting to come out now as well. So I think Koali he's done it. This the gasless opening has paid off. He's got the faster upgrades. And the Roach speed is faster as well, which is super nice. Koali in a good spot. Even got this Spine Crawler to help out. Bit of extra DPS if Stark chooses to move across the map. Stark's map vision is kind of unreal again though. Just kind of sees everything.
Yeah, the problem right now is Stark is making nothing but Roaches. He did squeeze in a few drones for his third base, so he's only 9 down. It was 12 or 13 earlier. but still, he's just trying to catch up in drones and catch up in roaches right now. He's a little bit ahead in roaches, but he is going to be down in upgrades. His +1 is on the way. It's about 70% finished. He's got speed finishing up here just right now. But a lot of roaches in production from Keowali because he's already got his third saturated. He doesn't need to continue making drones. He could just make roaches for the next 10 minutes of this game and be just fine. So he's going to do exactly that, it seems. Just continually make roaches for as long as he possibly can. Stark actually going for a Carapace upgrade as well, hopefully to help himself out a little bit against the greater roach count that's going to be coming out of Keowali here. Keowali even taking a 4th hatchery at the 4th base, but both players are starting to move out in the map currently.
I don't think Keowali should, I think he should pull back here. I think he can defend at this spine crawler. He can probably crush this army and move across the map. Got quite a lead. He needs to start +2/+2 soon though. He hasn't tried to squeeze it out yet. Stark should be able to cancel this 4th though.
Stark even clean up a little bit of creep over here. This is something that was happening to him in the previous games, but he's doing it to the other players now. Actually, a little bit of an engagement going on. Both players have a really good number of roaches. It's a pretty even, but again, that defense, to be able to have all of your roaches together really, really quickly is definitely going to help out here for Keowali. Stark is going to run the heck away from this. Yeah, and the Carapace up. Wait, he has Carapace upgrade already? He does. I didn't even realize that. Keowali, once again, he's always going for these double upgrades, and Stark is really, really prone to only getting the attack upgrades, which does let him squeeze out a few more roaches, but at this point, that one little upgrade is helping a little bit, but still, these roach wars in the middle of the map is so even, and that Carapace, that small advantage, is definitely what is going to be swinging this in favor of our pink Zerg player at the moment.
It's just enough. Keowali needs to gather all these forces, and he can really start putting pressure on to Stark on his side of the map.
Yeah. Only 7 drones at the 3rd base for Stark is really rough.
Yeah, there's a 7 drone lead as well for Keowali. Well positioned. +2 missiles is starting for Keowali, so he's got an upgrade advantage in that as well, and should be starting Carapace in a bit as well. Has the gas for it.
Stark actually starting a lot of Lings and Infestation Pit as well, so he may be trying to transition into a different army composition here. He may be wanting to use the Lings to try and counter perhaps. Otherwise, he's going to be trying to get a surround behind all the roaches and send his own roaches in to kind of help out the situation for him. Because right now he is pretty far behind. The supplies are relatively even, but there is a 30 army supply advantage here for Keowali, and that is all in roaches. A lot of, not a lot of, but a good chunk of the army supply for Stark is actually in Lings. And we go. There's the Locust upgrade.
It's happening.
It's happening. He feels he's behind, so he's gonna make the Swarm Host. I think he doesn't want to lose the game. There's no point. So. He's going to try to force this game to go a little bit longer, but this could be the same situation we saw earlier when KOL was trying to go for Broodlords, and it just didn't have the time to do it. Some Lings actually in the middle of the map getting traded out for nothing. It's kind of sad.
Quietly taking this gold base. It is spotted by Stark right away. He's got a few roaches. He might just have to cancel this ever so briefly. Does get a cancel. Stark does pick up the drone for his troubles.
There are a couple roaches over in the 4th base as well. They were killing off a couple of workers over there. A couple workers go down. 2 of them. Actually, Stark just trying to be absolutely everywhere. He's sending some links into the natural. There's only 2. Actually, he's sending all of those harassment roaches over there as well. So he's going to pick off the queen, which is really nice. And then hopefully pick off a few roaches or drones as well. Actually, he's going to get another queen for his trouble. So 2 queens here. Maybe kill a few more drones as well. You go see the queuing on the drones. Gonna get at least 3, maybe a 4th one, not sure. Probably not a 4th, nope. Only 3 more, but still. Evening up the work count, and actually Stark for the first time has taken a worker lead in this game, so nice moves from him there, and having the Swarm Host behind to help defend. He's even starting to make a bunch of Spine Callers, so KOL, is he gonna have to make his own? He's gonna have to make his own Swarm Host at some point, or maybe go to Aspire and try to get Broodlords out in this game.
Yeah, I think we're in for a long one. It's going to be real hard for Koali to bust into this. He's got sort of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Swarm, 8, 9. 9 Swarm Hosts, that number. A lot of Spine Crawlers as well. Very defensive position for Stark. And a few Roaches and the few Ling run by really just bought the time he needed to get this defense up.
And what's more, KOL has no idea what the Swarm Host yet, I don't think. He hasn't seen it with anything. He doesn't have the vision to see it at the moment. And maybe if Stark is able to just surprise him with those, okay, the Locusts are going to spawn out now, so he's going to realize they're there when they're in his phase. But no 4th base yet for Stark. And Cowley may be able to eventually just bleed him out, but Swarm Host, that's their point. They want to be bled out. That's okay for them. But it's gonna. And Cowley, it's Stark going for a Spire. Actually, I thought that was gonna be Cowley's, but Cowley going for an Infestation Pit.
Double Infestation Pit even.
Yeah, I just realized that. It's the second one. He's got a Hive on the way. Like you don't need that. Stark once again setting a bunch of Lings, and this is a lot more than the previous run bys. He's going to get a lot of drone kills with this, I believe. All the Roaches are out in the middle of the map as well, so this could be pretty rough. There's a couple Spine Callers in the natural at least, but actually that didn't do anything.
Wow.
Well, he's going to get a few drone kills at the third finally.
But the Lings not attacked properly there. They should have got that Queen. I thought.
There were two Spine Crawlers, so I'm not sure what happened. But he's still getting 7 workers, so that's a nice pickup. And now Stark has a 64 to 48 worker lead. Stark just multitasking a little bit better, just having a little bit easier time doing so. And now his Swarm Host have moved forward a little bit, so he's able to take his own 4th base now, and he's going to still just continue to do these run bys, I suspect, and be just plenty happy with the situation he's in. But we do see the Enduring Locust upgrade coming down for Kawali, so he knows what kind of game he's getting into already.
He's going to trade some of these Roaches out. He's maxed out. There are Lings at the goal base of Koala getting a cancel on this as well. He's Swarm Hut low, so in a bit of trouble here. Koala's bypassed the defense of Stark. If he can get these Swarm Hosts, this is going to be a very good pickup for Koala. Moving in now, he's on top of the Swarm Host. Locusts are spawning, but Koala doing a lot of damage here.
Yeah, that's the entire army for Stark has pretty much gone down. He's got some Lings and some Roaches over in Koala's base, but he doesn't really have enough to produce now. He's making a ton of Spine Callers in varying locations, but I don't know if that's going to get out. He's got... Oh, that's not his. He's got 16 Mutas on the way, actually, that are about to pop out, but there are already 7 Hydras over this location, so those should be able to deal with the Mutas, especially considering the Mutas aren't going to really have any upgrades right now, and these Hydras have +2/+2. Mutas aren't going to do a lot, but he could possibly kill it, but the Hive is going to go down. Pretty much everything right now for Stark is dying, which is pretty rough. He's going to lose the pool as well. Everything is just completely reset. He's going to kill the natural. And Stark, yeah, he's got some Lings over in Kawali's base and a couple Roaches as well, but Kawali is able to actually reproduce right now. 100 supply lead at this point.
Yeah, you should see Kawali throw down some Spore Crawlers as well at all his bases in a second.
Both players losing so many workers right now, but
so many drones going down.
It's a bit of a mistake, but Kawali still has a good amount of money. He can just throw down 7 spores and be safe.
A lot of Hydras here.
Still trying to deal with the army that's in his base, but he's got a really commanding lead, over 100 supply lead right now. Stark, I'm not sure if he's just gonna try and go for the base trade, hoping that his opponent doesn't make any Spore Callers, it seems. But I'm pretty sure Kawali, unless Stark is able to hide items all over the map, he should be able to deal with this pretty easy. He's getting a couple more Swarm Hosts. Is the Overseers? No, the Overseers are still alive, so those will die.
You should be able to just defend up on one of the bases. Just pick one and defend it, and you should win this base trade pretty easily. GG call from Stark, he realises. Good game from Koala, good decision making, I think. That was made the choice. He saw his opportunity to bust in on those Swarm Hosts and got them. Stark did really well to just try and buy time as long as he could to get those Swarm Hosts out. And he pretty much almost got there. Koala found the smallest opening and abused it.
He didn't sit there and wait. He just went forward. I wasn't gonna say I'm gonna attack into your Spine Callers now. I'm gonna bypass everything. I realize you're switching your techs right now. You've thrown everything at me. You don't have much back home besides these Swarm Hosts. That means you can't defend. So he just went for it and it worked out pretty dang well. So he will yield to the series. We will getting into a game number 3. It's gonna be on Expedition Lost of all maps. So should be a good one. I mean, this is gonna be deciding who's actually gonna move on here to the round of 16. Really high-level ZVZ going on today.
Koala just told me he has not played a ZVZ on this map before. Oh, poor guy. That's rough.
That's rough. I know for a fact Stark has, because that was the qualifier. 9-pool game. But, I mean, not many players play on this map in general just because it gets beat up so quickly by most races. I would say Zerg probably has the best time on this map, at least in mid games. It's so easy to bounce between the bases with the speed of their units early on. But when the other player is also Zerg, it's kind of an interesting situation. So I'll have to see what these two decide to do on this map once they do get back. Okay, well, I just asked for a short break, and Stark as well needed a short break. But we're going to stay here for a little bit. Well, I guess I'll take the time to go through, thank, I guess, our sponsors, sort of, kind of. We do have a couple coaches who have donated their time, so thanks to them. Tang from All Inspiration of Zerg, Grandmaster, who will be coaching. You can follow him at TangSC2, and also Protoss Gemini from Integrity Gaming. Follow him at GGemini19 on Twitter. You can see their links below the Twitch channel viewing thing as well for their coaching websites, as well as their Twitch channels. And they're both really, I mean, they're pretty well known, especially on Reddit. ATP, All Things Protoss, Gemini's a mod there, and I'm pretty sure Tang submits a lot of builds, a lot of coaching things to All Things Zerg as well. But Tang has done a lot of coaching in his day, and so has Gemini. So really happy both those guys have given up, or will be giving up some of their time to help us out here. So that's really cool of them. Also, thanks to Tux. All the graphics you see are from him. So a big shout out to him for doing that. Of course, the CTL is the reason this does exist. So if you are interested, it's a Diamond and Below League. Go join up ChoboTeamLeague.com. Go check that out if you are interested. Diamond and Below, of course. This league itself is also Diamond and Below, just for the individual, since the main object for the CTL is obviously the team, hence the T standing for team. That's the point, right? And of course, thanks to my co-caster Couchy, who is, what is it, like 7 a.m. for you now? 8 a.m. maybe?
Nah, 9 now. I started. 9. I was up at 5:15 there.
Yeah. So thanks to him for showing up, hanging out with me. He's over in Australia, casting. So it's rough for him. It's mid after. Well, it's 5 o'clock now for me. So it started in the mid afternoon. Now we're all the way here. But I will return the favor on Sunday when I'm casting at 1 a.m. for the C group, which will be our next group. It's going to be at 1 a.m. Eastern Sunday, and then it's 5 p.m. local in Sydney to help them out. So we have in that group of players from Japan, Australia, and New Zealand. So it's like a 6-hour time range, I think, because Japan it'll be 3 p.m. start for Japan, 5 p.m. for Sydney, and then 7 p.m. for New Zealand. So it's a pretty wide swath of time zones there to work out. And then after that, later on, 12
into the US groups.
18 hours later, 8 p.m. Eastern, will be the first NA group. I'm not sure. I can't remember who's in that group, actually. I want to say Purge is in that group. Yeah, Purge, Doohickey, and Ninkazi. So that'll be fun.
Ninkazi's group.
But our players are ready, so I can stop pretending I can talk. And we're going to get into our third and final match of the day, of the evening, if you will.
The decider.
The decider match, yes.
The decider. Yeah, Koali not playing on this map in his EVZ before is risky. It doesn't bode well for him.
Especially like if you don't know a map, like it's where do you place your third base? That is such an issue in ZVZ in the first place. And if you're playing a map you're not used to, where do you place that third base?
Both have pros and cons.
It's such an issue to do it. So maybe both players will find a reason to cheese in this map. We'll have to see. But starting up here in the top right in pink from Team Unrivaled, it's Keowali.
And in the bottom left-hand side, in the yellow, from All Inspiration, I should say, not Unrivaled. It is Stark. No, he is on All Inspiration. I couldn't imagine Stark on Unrivaled. I don't know. It'd be weird.
Well, yeah, but
it'd be weird. I don't even know.
No one can. It's like seeing metalcore on Guns N' Roses. It's really strange.
Yeah, how weird is that? I don't know. Like, it makes sense because like Ninkazi and metalcore are like a pretty good internet friends, I guess you could say. And metalcore does fit into that like relaxed style that Guns N' Roses is renowned for, but it's still weird to see. Yeah,
for sure. Well, it's just been such a long time, so it is kind of a strange happenstance. But that's the sadness of Lucky 13 disbanding. Of course, you are originally from Lucky 13 as well as Keowali, so there's a lot of former Lucky 13 players who are playing. Slayer will be playing in Group H as well. For Lucky 13 is on Guns N' Roses.
Aquila
as well. All Inspiration now as well, and Mr. Lando as well on All Inspiration.
Yeah,
Wait,
Blaze.
he was never on.
No, Lando was never on. Lando's just from Australia. But yeah, Blaze is on from Lucky 13. He's in this. There's a few of us.
Just keeping it going strong, but game is getting interesting early. We do have a gas first out of Keowali and then into his pool. Meanwhile, Stark, he has got his pool down, he has got his gas down as well, just a little bit later on that gas. So it's been interesting couple of minutes here in this early game, depending on what Keowali decides to do with his early gas, if it's going to be for bailiness, if it's going to be for speed. But given how much gas he's going to have by the time this pool does finish, I gotta say it's going to be speed to start off with. Whether or not he expands behind that, I'm not really sure. He's waiting to see if he's going to pull out of this gas or not.
I think it was more for safety. Both these players have shown the ability for the early game shenanigans, and in the last game of best of 3, the last thing you want to lose to was a 9 pool or something like that. And it doesn't surprise me that they both went pool first, the pool gas before even throwing an expansion. Quali's taken just one guy left on gas, getting speed.
There's still no expansion down here for Keowali, which is going to put some alarms into Stark's guy. I imagine we'll see a spine collar put down from him. Really, there it goes. In fact, it is down already. He's got a couple lings out, yeah, but there's already 4 lings out on the map here for Keowali. He's got speed almost 30% finished here. He's only got 1 drone left in gas, so I guess he's not going to go for abandonness or anything. He's just going to try to get some damage done with the speed. Maybe just try and force an overreaction out of Stark and see what kind of a drone advantage he can get out of that. Because right now the drones are quite even. We do see 6 lings actually on the way here for Stark. He did cancel that spine collar once again.
So he's not too
afraid. Yeah, he's going to throw the bailing nest down instead, and same coming from Keowali getting a bailing nest. So a lot of early game aggression going to be coming out here from both players.
Stark getting probably the little bit of a better opening. He's got a lot of lings out on the map. He's got 8. He's focusing down these plates, which is nice. But it's this extra hatchery production going to allow him to eke out a little bit of an advantage. I don't think Quali is really going to be able to use this speed for anything to gain an advantage in this game. Stark is pulling lings as well. And there is no... Oh, there is one overlord, I was about to say. Did not see the overlord from Quali out.
I feel like Stark is going to try to shoot this overlord away and find a path around these overlords. There's another overlord on the right side. I think he's going to go right underneath that. Yeah, so Keowali will know this is coming. He sees all of these lings. He's going to see speed kick in here in just a second. There it goes. This is kind of a question of, is this going to be banlings or not? And did Stark leave anything back home at all? Is there any banlings back home? No, there's nothing. So this is going to be kind of a awkward trade situation.
This is getting real awkward.
Yeah, 14 lings are about to pop out here for Keowali. A little bit of a stutter there for Stark. 4 banes being created in the main base here of Keowali. Those aren't going to finish up, and probably not. Well, they will finish, but not many lings are going to be left over. Stark going immediately for drones right now. Drones are being pulled to the natural base, where there's already some lings left over. Still nothing but lings in production for both players. The banes have finished up here for Keowali, but still a decent amount of kills picked up here by Stark. He does lose quite a few of his lings there, and now he probably was going to be on the defensive side. He's probably going to make some banlings back home. I would hope so at least, because otherwise he's going to be in a rough spot.
Yeah, the loss of mining time for Quali will kind of hurt a little bit there as well. That's good trade. Interesting decision for Quali to continue across the map with those lings. He did eventually turn them around, but perhaps a little bit too late to defend against this. I think Stark in a good position. And Quali does have some banelings already though. Stark making some banelings back away from the natural of Quali, but they are spotted. He's going to try and get working on them now as best as he can to limit them. Oh, gets a pretty good trade there as well actually. That's Quali. A lot of banelings from Stark though.
Yeah, Stark has a ton of banelings left over, and if he gets these all taken out by these 3, that'd be really rough, but it's a really large number of banelings. He probably could split off 2 and take out the 3. Oh, humongous hit there for Keowali. That's a wonderful trade for him. Yeah. Now there's really nothing left over for Stark right now. He's got banelings in production, but he lost, what was that, 6 banes to 2, I think?
2, I think. Yeah, that
maybe
that
3. Was pretty awful.
Good
that definitely helped out, but still extremely even on the drone counts, and both players still making nothing but lings. Too afraid to make anything drone-wise. But Stark is forced to stay back home right now. He's got some banelings morphing in back home. He's got a lot of lings still. A ton of lings being created right now.
So much tension in this game. It's like the micro required and the intensity. So it's so scary. Just one misclick can really cause the end of your series, end of your tournament run. And Stark is pushing across the map again. There's this single Baneling trying to get a good connection. There's 4 Banelings here, waddling towards Koali's base. He does have a few, and try and get some good trades.
Another really good trade there for Koali. Yeah. 4 for 2. It's working out pretty well. You make it, yeah. Of course, they trade right back. 3 Banes for 2 in favor of Stark there, but still, Koali has been taking the better of most of these engagements thus far, but still the worker counts relatively even. Koali has squeezed out a few extra drones so far, but Stark is on the other side of the map. He's got a few Banelings about to finish up. He's going to try to roll in the base, see what he can get done. Still so many Banes for both players are alive. 1 Bane going to kill off a lot of Lings in the main base, actually. There's not a whole lot left over Ling-wise for Koali. Kind of an issue of he made a lot of drones. So yeah. He doesn't have much left over right now. And Stark rolling in with a couple of Banelings may actually get some pretty good connections. What is he going to go for? Is he going to go for the Queen, or is he going to just wait for Ling to pop? Actually, he didn't do anything with those. I think
his Ling was...
I'm not sure.
Turning around. Stark really needs to keep the foot down here. Koali has the Lings out now.
He did
lose 3 drones.
But,
yeah.
He killed a Queen as well. I guess that's what he used the Baneling on. I'm not sure if he thought there were more larvae sitting at this natural base or what. Or maybe I figured he was going to be waiting for the Lings to pop out of those eggs, and he just maybe exploded a little bit too early there. So now Stark is forced back home, at least for a little bit. Starting to make some more Banes to defend, and now a Spine Crawler in the main base as well. Neither player has transitioned out of this. We're 12 minutes in almost. Both players were at still under 25 workers. Koali once again enjoying a small worker advantage, but that's really all it is. It's a very small advantage.
Yeah, Koali really needs to defend here. If he can defend here and hold this drone advantage, he'll be in a really good spot. He has 6 Banelings. He's got 2 more morphing. He should have enough to really push this back. Only 2 Banelings started for Stark, with 2 more following up. You can get some good trades again like he has been so far. And this might come down to Koali just not knowing the map well enough as well. Oh, you can get some pretty good trades there from Koali. Doing his best that he can. Starting a few more Banelings. There's a lot of Lings here for Stark though. Brings a couple more Banelings down from the natural.
Oh, Stark's not paying attention to this. Okay, that was almost a really good connection there. That's the last Baneling on the map, I think, for either player, honestly. There's nothing but Lings on the map right now. The advantage is in favor of Koali. Once again, he's got a slight worker advantage, so he's actually producing pretty decently behind all of this. Stark's still just pushing as many Lings forward as he possibly can, but this attack is starting to run out of energy. He's got 4 or 5 Banes trying to morph in over on this right side, but those were scouted out by the Lings, and a ton of Banelings rolling in for Koali, so Stark has to be super, super careful. Wow.
Good micro there from Koali. Stark has lost a Queen at some stage as well. We've missed that. He only has 1 Queen injecting for the moment.
Oh, that's a really big mistake then. He's only got the 1 Queen. That explains a lot in this game right now. Yeah. This Queen does have a good amount of energy. It could walk between the bases and see what it can get done, but not being able to actually make anything. Yeah. No. Another more good trades here coming out of Koali. He's kind of taking command of this game with the Ling Bane control. But still, anyone's game still. But 27, 21 workers, more and more Lings just floating across the map for both players. Bane's just being made absolutely everywhere. It's just so ridiculous.
So close. It's kind of just going on forever.
Yeah.
There's a lot of micro battles going on. This is why I hate ZVZ as a matchup, because it's so hard to do this style of play. It's just been Ling Baneling fighting for about 9 minutes now.
Yeah. To be fair, neither player has tried going into roaches or anything like that. Just too afraid to do so, because once you try switching, as I say that, Roachborn is coming down for Koali. If he's able to switch effectively into this, he could be in a really nice position, but Koali, I love what he's doing here. He's putting all of his Lings up on the left side over here. I'm not sure if he's going to try to make some Banes up here as well, or if he's just going to wait and try to counter and just kind of sandwich his opponent in.
Trying to make a trap here for Stark. He's eked out this drone lead bit by bit. Stark is knocking down these back rocks, which isn't seen by Koali either. His Lings trying to get good trades against the Banelings. There's still a lot of Banelings remaining for Koali. Koali needs to get a vision on these back rocks. I mean, Stark sneaks some Banelings in. He can get some really nice trades on the drones. More Banelings coming in and fighting.
Each player losing so many Banes right now. I mean, the last Bane there for Stark does go down. There are 5 Banes left over right now for KOL. He's actually running right into a couple Banelings. If Stark notices this, he doesn't. He will try and trade, but not quite what he wanted. There's so many Banes still left. There's still 3, so Stark has to be so careful with his Lings left. But it's still a decent trade there. Gets a couple more workers. He did see the Roach Warren as well, so he knows that's there. In response, Stark still making nothing but Lings. He does have 2 Queens now, so he is finally producing off the 2 bases fully rather than what he had been doing. The first Roach is in production here for KOL. He still has not caught wind of the rocks going down. He doesn't even hear it either. Doesn't have the vision to actually hear it coming down. It's going to take still a long time. That's 3 armor rocks, 2,000 health. Takes forever for, what is this, 4 Lings to kill that off, but if it does happen, if these 4 do turn into Banelings, we saw that KOL do that to 1 HP earlier. It does a ton of damage. It can really absolutely decimate a mineral line so fast, though. Intense game that is kind of relaxed for a little bit, at least at this point.
Quali started sneaking in some more drones here, 4 more in production. Stark still building Lings. He has a lot of Lings moving across the map. 6 Banelings as well. We'll probably start some more.
He's going for these back rocks, I think. Completely going for these back rocks, yeah. It hasn't been seen. I mean, creep still is not. It's close, but it's not quite there. I mean, he should figure it out. He's gotten over that, seen all these Lings moving over that direction. So you got to think of, why are you moving all your Lings over there? You're probably setting up to do something, right? KOL, again, not knowing this map is maybe going to bite him really hard, especially if Stark is able to get a bunch of. Oh gosh, he hears it now.
I think he
just realized it now.
Last minute, yeah. He's like, oh, that's right, there's some back rocks. He's just got there in time. A lot of Banelings flooding in for Stark. He's got a 3rd base behind him, so he's not completely committing to this.
Oh no, this might be a really awful trade here for Stark. This is started up decently, but the last second figuring out that this was a possibility here. These Bane's gonna go. Actually, they explode on really nothing. It was a little bit premature.
Manual detonation, I think. Yeah,
it was a premature detonation there. Trying to get, I guess, on the Roaches, but he didn't actually come close to it. And now Stark is, well, he's still got an even drone count. He's got a 3rd hatchery, so that's nice, but it's going to be so difficult to hold this hatchery. He's got his own Roach Warren on the way. He just have 20 more Lings, and he still retains, what is that? Why can't I think? 23 Lings on the map already still, so a lot of Lings currently. So he can try and counter as best as he possibly can. It's going to put KOL in an awkward position where he's going to be defending his back rock location and his main ramp as well, so Stark's still in this position, but KOL is not in a bad position at all.
Yeah, when he takes his 30, I think he should take this one near the back rocks as well. Just makes defending a little bit easier.
Yeah, for sure.
He's moving across the map now, though, trying to get the 3rd. And Stark's going to choose to run by instead. He doesn't force a turnaround from Koali.
There's one Baneling up top here.
Yeah, it's 4 actually.
Actually, there's a bunch of Banes up there.
Yeah, I think he's got enough there to defend it.
There's so many Roaches over here for KOL. I don't think Stark has anything that can really defend against this. He doesn't have any Spine Callers. He doesn't have really Roaches of his own. He's trying to make 9 right now, but he's got to get in and do some damage into the main base. He's going to get a lot of drones over here. He's going to get the Queen as well in the main. But I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. This may turn into a bit of a base trade for a bit of time, but the army here for KOL is so massive in comparison. 9 Roaches are popping out right now. Stark may need to actually pull his drones to help defend this. It doesn't have nearly enough to help. The drones are pulled the natural to try and deal with this. 23 workers went down for KOL over here, and he still was losing a few more. Stark is starting to lose most of his drones as well, but all the Lings are flooding on back for Stark, but he's not going to be able to get a good position on this. KOL putting himself on top of the rim saying, hey, you can't come out of here. Not going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, I say that, and he's going to move.
Doesn't want to get surrounded.
Oh,
he
no.
is going to get
Speaking
surrounded.
of, that may honestly be it. I'm not sure. There's not many drones left over for either player, really. 10 drones to 19 right now, but KOL lost his entire army. What does he have left right now? He's got a few Roaches on the right side. He's got 19 Roaches. Never mind. That's not a few. That's a lot of Roaches. So he's still got a really nice standing army, but his drone count is quite low at the moment. I don't know. This is rough.
It's a pretty heavy Ling army as well. If Koala can get some good Baneling hits, some good Baneling trades, he's going to be in a pretty good spot. The problem is defending these 2 ramps, though.
Yeah.
He really needs to split his focus. There's good positioning here on the back ramp with a few Banelings and Roaches.
Yeah, he's realized exactly what is going to kill him, and he's defending that perfectly. Realizing if my opponent comes up both locations, I'm really going to be hurting. And he's got Banelings and Roaches over here, but Stark is he's just sending his entire army either direction, rather than just trying to attack one or both locations at the same time. He's just forcing KOLE to stay back and forth and running back and forth the entire time. Behind this, 20 workers to 12. Does either player even have any queens? Yeah, KOLE has 1 queen. There's no queens out right now for Stark, so he's recreating those. So both players stuck on 1 base basically right now, and there's still another engagement coming down. There's still so many roaches right now for KOLE. It's impossible for Stark to actually engage into this.
Yeah. KOLE can't really even afford to spend all his lava anyway, even with the queens. And the Lings are going to push into these back rocks again. And this map really being abused by Stark here. He's going to kill some more drones. Stark is fully saturated on 1 base, which is good for him. A few banelings starting here.
Looks like KOLE, he's just abandoned his main base more or less, and he's just trying to mine from his natural. His roach warren is at his natural as well, so he's not too worried about that. And the roach count right now, 23 roaches, but 19 now for Stark. And no upgrades for these roaches either, so if Stark is just able to eke out some more roaches, he should be okay, especially with the high ground here. But still, this game is still so insanely close at this point. 24 minutes in, we're at 73 supply, at the top supply, really. So this is gone rather ridiculous. This map, it's just this map. And KOLE, he's realized, okay, you going to attack my back rocks? I'm going to attack your back rocks too. No problem. And the problem is he might get surrounded there. Actually, Stark's just going to go across the map with the Lings. He's going to do this all game.
Yeah. And once these back rocks are open, there's nothing that can really stop it from happening. There's a few roaches here ready to accept these Lings, but the Lings just bypass them. Trying to hit some drones.
KOLE bought a queen with his attack, that's funny. He's going to attack into this. He has to attack into this. I'm not sure if he cannot attack into it. The longer he waits, the worse this is going to get for him. Spinecrawler is moving here for Stark. At the same time, he's killing most of the drones left over in the natural base. So we go 11, 12 drones going down, 13, 14. This is looking pretty rough for KOLE with the Spinecrawler finished as well. This is looking like the last attack out of our Pink Zerg player. He doesn't really have anything left. Stark is pulling all of his drones, realizing he really just needs to defend this, and he should be okay. Making 2 more roaches right now. He's got some banelings walking, but I think those are across the map. And KOLE is going to tap out. Sinistar, good lord, Stark is going to advance in 2nd place here for Group G.